Hi, Reverend Margalie.
Hi, Joan.
Wow, can you believe it is 2023? And it's hard to believe you just completed your first year, a full year, as our settled minister.
It's true. It feels like I've been here so long, yet in such a short time, so much has happened.
Yes, from making it through the most trying of times of the pandemic and coming out better and stronger as a congregation.
To putting the finishing touches on our newly renovated sanctuary and revamped website.
To hiring our first full-time director of lifespan religious enrichment.
To seeing our community impact continue to widen and deepen through social justice, fellowship, and engagement initiatives. Wow.
What an exciting time at 1U.
And you know what? There are so many exciting things happening all around our campus and beyond.
That's right. And you know, let's hear from just a few of our small groups. What makes right now an exciting time at 1U for them?
It's an exciting time at 1U because of all the opportunities we have within our community to grow spiritually.
Because there are so many new faces at services and on campus.
Because of the creative and collaborative worship services that help us create the intentions for ourselves and to better the world.
Because Mystic Grove celebrated 21 years and is still going strong.
This is an exciting time at 1U because of the increase in our outreach programs, like supporting the children at New Image Youth Center.
Because we are building a culture of inclusion based on love and accountability.
Because we are learning to protect the earth by living greener.
Our justice teams are engaging with the community and connecting with the larger UU world of justice theology and action. What an exciting time at 1U.
Right now is an exciting time to be at 1U because of the renewed excitement of people coming out of the pandemic and wanting to engage in church and community.
It's an exciting time at 1U because we're learning to raise anti-racist kids.
Because we're finding yin and yang.
Because the 1U garden is flourishing. We grow fruits and vegetables and give them away to anyone, to members, to neighbors, to the homeless. We're a free you-pick garden. We work to nourish the community.
It's an exciting time to be at 1U because the Milk District Salon Concert Series is bringing new people to our campus.
Because of family beach days, game nights, and camping trips.
It's an exciting time here at 1U. A lot of beginnings beginning for youth, adults, and kids.
Wow, can you feel the energy in the air? And that's just a sampling of all the wonderful things happening at 1U.
Yes, there is so much that we've accomplished and have planned for the future. It really is an exciting time at 1U.
We want to keep the momentum going, and that's why we're turning to our members during this year's generosity campaign to ask for your financial pledge to ensure our beloved community continues to thrive. With your generosity, we'll continue to fulfill our mission and live out our faith values in Central Florida communities. So please, give as you are able. We would not be 1U without our members. You are truly the most exciting thing at 1U.
photographers. So thank you to those wonderful people. Members and friends, today we kick off our generosity campaign here at 1U. You should have received information and a pledge card in the mail. If you haven't received it yet, you should do so soon. If you are planning on pledging using the pledge cards, they can be mailed back to Amy, or in the future we will have a box for you in Gore Hall. The generosity campaign is when we make our annual pledge to 1U, celebrating all the ways this community shows up for us and all the exciting things that happens not only for us here, but as we outreach into the community. And remember, we are a self-supporting church, and our financial contributions are an important way that we demonstrate our commitment to liberal religion here in Central Florida. This year, our campaign is being led by our Stewardship Committee, of which I am a member, and if I forgot to introduce myself, which I may have done, I am Karen Ramberg, a member of this congregation and a member of our Stewardship Committee. The other members are Joan Nelson, Ted Nelson, John Hartkering, and of course, Reverend Margalie Belizaire. See, once you make one mistake, they just kind of roll out. And it's not just the committee. As I mentioned earlier, there's so many people supporting us. We mentioned Elizabeth Horn and Max, but in addition, there's been Marianne Horn. We also have had Gabby Cabrera, Amy Fairweather, and who knows, there might be some people in the future. If we need some help, we might just tap your shoulder. So thank you to everyone who has put so much into this campaign already, and we appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. With me in today's service is Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our Director of Lifespan Religious Education, Judith Stein-Farrall, Director of Music, Audrey Connelly-Candelario, and the Chalice Choir. And we have a guest accompanist joining us today, and that would be Daniela Monzan Villegas. Also, Michael Lewis and Julia Chinnock will be participating. And let us not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background that make this all come together on Sunday morning. Our fabulous tech team, our flower team, our welcome team, our child care team, and so many others. It couldn't happen without their help. Please note, the nursery is open for toddlers to pre-K, and also the RE children will be sung to their activities after the time for all ages, and we'll create our bridge. I love that. That's a wonderful addition to our services. Currently, the youth are meeting they're gathering in the gathering space. And if you are a member of that group and you would like to join them, you can please do so now. We welcome all to join us as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, a faith that calls us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to our community. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. You are welcome here, regardless of your color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. You are welcome here. For more information about our congregation, you can and the announcements, you can go to orlandouu.org. They also are available through emailing info@orlandouu.org. Announcements are on the slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. They're also posted with the order of service, which you can access by using the QR code being displayed behind me. Thanks again for being here today. We really appreciate you coming here in person or from the comfort of your own homes. Let's get started.
Please say the words with me as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 16, "'Tis a Gift." Words will be projected on the screen.
This morning on the first Sunday of the month of March, Women History Month, for what we ministers and maybe some UUs humorously call the Sermon on the Amount. I love that, yep. So, as we meet here, we know the world continues to need the hope that we are offering, the goal of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. We also know that women continue to suffer at the hands of those who claim to love them, to love us, to be enslaved, to be undervalued. So I invite you to be mindful of the importance of what Unitarian Universalism offers to the world and why we must support this life-saving faith. And this is one of the time of year we are offered the opportunity to renew our commitment to this faith through our commitment that is done by us committing to supporting financially our congregation. I call us to worship with the words of Reverend John Wolfe. There is only one reason for joining a Unitarian Universalist church, and that is to support it. You want to support it because it stands against superstition and fear, because the church points to what is noblest and best in human life, because it is open to people of whatever race, creed, color, place of origin, or sexual orientation. You want to support Unitarian Universalism because it has a free pulpit, because you can hear ideas expressed there which would cost any other minister his or her job. You want to support it because it is a place where children come without being saddled with guilt or terrified of some celestial peeping Tom, where they can learn that religion is for joy, for comfort, for gratitude and love. You want to support it because it is a place where walls between people are torn down rather than built up, because it is a place for the religious displaced persons of our time, the unwanted free thinkers, and those who insist against orthodoxy that they must work on their own beliefs. You want to support Unitarian Universalism because it is more concerned with human beings than with dogmas, because it searches for the holy rather than dwelling upon the depraved, because it calls no one a sinner, yet knows how deep is the struggle in each person's breast and how great is the hunger for what is good. You want to support a Unitarian Universalist church because it can laugh, because it stands for something in a day when religion is still more concerned with platitudes than with prejudice and war. You want to support it not because it buys you some insurance policy towards your funeral service, because but because it insults neither your intelligence nor your conscience, and because it calls you to worship what is truly worthy of your sacrifice. There is only one reason for joining a Unitarian Universalist church: to support it. And come, beloveds, let us worship together. And what an exciting time at 1U. Show your excitement by greeting one another joyfully.
Time for all ages, and if you don't, that's fine too. But if you'd like to, I love having y'all up here. I should also say, and I didn't notice this in the script, I just heard that the youth today don't have youth groups, so youth should not, we had an owl overnight, but other than that, they're going home today. Lots of sleep was had. So, everyone, I have sitting up here on a stool a basket that many of you may have seen before. I can back up if more people need carpet space. Do we know what this basket is? Does anyone have a guess? Okay, go ahead. What? A picnic basket. It does look like a picnic basket, doesn't it? I wonder what's in this basket. Therefore, I call it a wonder basket. Easter. You think maybe Easter's in the basket? That's not a bad idea. Is it barking? No, it's not barking. Is it no, it's not a bunny boy, but what do bunnies do? They hop, and it's hopping a little bit, isn't it? It's hopping a little bit. What else hops? Who wants to come see what's in the basket? Come on, come take a look. Ready?
Oh, it's a frog.
It's a frog. So someone hold it up so everybody can see. It's a frog. All right. So what do frogs do? They hop. Why was it in the basket today? Go ahead. Yep. So it doesn't jump away. That's a good thing. How do frogs move? You've just used one of the words, right? Go ahead, Alyssa. They jump. What's another word for jumping? Hopping. Bouncing. Leaping. Yes. Were you going to say leaping, Maya? Okay. So tell me about leaping. Here, let me hold the frog for a minute. When a frog leaps, where do they go? They leap forward from one space to another, right? Sometimes they leap they're leaping in a pond, and they're from lily pad to, very good, lily pad to lily pad. You want to see it again? Okay. Okay, share it around. So when they hop from lily pad to lily pad, they're trying to get somewhere, right? Okay, maybe across the pond, maybe to a place that's sunny and warm, where the bugs are. They're trying to get somewhere where they can get food. When they jump from lily pad to lily pad, do they know that the lily pad is going to hold them up? Are they sure? Oops, I'm going to hold on to that, okay? So, nope, basket's going to stay right there. Okay. So sometimes they take a big leap, and do they know they're going to land on the lily pad? Why do they know they're going to land on the lily pad? Why do they know that? Go ahead. They're amazing hoppers. Why else, Maya? Right. And because they've practiced, but are they sure they're going to land somewhere safe? You think? I don't know. I think it's kind of scary, yeah. If you jump from a stone to a stone over a water, do you think you'd feel safe, that you were sure you were going to jump, you weren't going to land? Yeah, sometimes it's scary. It's taking a risk. It's doing something exciting, right? Trying to get somewhere, but it's a little frightening. Okay, all right. We want to share it so everybody can try and see them, okay? All right. So, not knowing for sure where to land on the next spot. There's an expression we adults use for that. Any adults want to shout out, and it uses the word leap in it. A leap of faith. And a leap of faith is doing something scary. Hey, guys. A leap of faith is doing something a little bit scary for a good reason, to get somewhere, to resolve something. But we don't always know for sure how it's going to go when we go. So sometimes they take a leap and they miss the lily pad and land in the water. But they can swim, and they do it, and they try again, right? So it's vulnerability. And that's today's message, is that sometimes you have to take a leap of faith to get from here to there and be ready to move forward. Okay? Does that work? All right. So before we sing the kids out, which we're about to do, I just want to remind you that next week, Ari's going to be moving along forward, and we'll be dividing up the kids a little bit more age appropriately. Today is a one-room schoolhouse all about leaps of faith. So now, as you walk to RE, our adults are going to lift their arms up into a bridge to remind you of our love and the protection we offer you here in this community. And I'll take the frog because he's coming with me. It's okay, he's coming with us.
Good morning. I'm Michael Lewis, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. We invite you now to the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values which sustains the life and ministries of the church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it is a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. The Share the Plate partner for the month of March is the Coalition of Margalie Workers. It's a farmhouse worker organization located in Southwest Florida that advocates for farmer rights throughout the eastern U.S. We first interacted with this organization in 2008 at the General Assembly in Fort Lauderdale. Many of our members were impressed with this worker lead group, and we quickly became one of many faith-based allies. Over these past 15 years, we have marched and protested at many locations throughout the state, advocating for major corporations to sign on to the Campaign for Fair Food, developed by CIW to advocate for improving working conditions in the fields, stopping sexual harassment of workers, and eliminating slavery. Yes, slavery, enforced by labor bosses and a fair wage for the backbreaking time spent in the fields. Successes include Walmart, Whole Foods, the Fresh Market, Subway, Aramark, Sodexo, and Trader Joe's, among others. This short video will introduce you to the CIW and an upcoming action taking place in Palm Beach where they will march in an effort to convince Wendy's to join the enlightened corporations.
Del staff de la Coalición de Trabajadores de Immokalee. La coalición es una organización que lucha por los derechos humanos de los trabajadores agrícolas. Hemos luchado por muchos años para proteger los derechos de trabajadores y pues gracias a todos ustedes de la Iglesia Universalista que siempre han estado apoyando a la lucha de los trabajadores y estar en solidaridad con nosotros. Y ahora les paso a mi próxima generación.
Extra, extra, breaking news from Margalie. In just 1 month, we're going on the Build a New World March. We are marching to protect the human rights of farm workers and bring an end to abuse in our food system. Our march will be 5 whole days at one time. Here's the thing though, we need your help. We need all kinds of stuff to make this happen. Buses and vans to get there. Meals and snacks to keep our energy up. We need water. It's gonna be super hot out there. And we need t-shirts and hats. And we can't do it alone. Can you donate today to make this happen? Here's the link.
Please support this worthy cause with your treasures and, if you can, your time on March 18th. The offering will now be collected. 100% of the in-house collection on this first Sunday of the month goes to our Share the Plate partner. Oh, and as a reminder, pass the basket all the way down the pew. And also note that you can give online. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
Hello, my name is Julia Chinnock, and I am a member of this congregation. I have a 4.5-year-old daughter named Estelle and a husband named Richard. A few weeks ago, it was me and Richard and Estelle in our kitchen, and Estelle announced, "We're rich." Richard and I looked at each other, oh, my stomach, like, oh, really? What do you mean, rich? Well, we have everything we need. That means we're rich. Oh, yes, 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 we are rich, very rich. We are rich, by Estelle's definition. And this year, when I think about my pledge, I've been thinking about how the church is also rich, so rich. And it wasn't always so. We haven't always had a safe, unified campus or the needed number of personnel, or. We legit didn't have everything we needed. And I think now we do. I think we're rich. I think we have everything we need, and that means we're rich. And I, for one, want to enjoy being rich. I mean, what's the point of being rich if you don't enjoy it? I want to enjoy time on the campus and chill out in the garden, eating vine-ripe tomatoes, and watch Estelle play in the playground with her little 1U friends. I want to hear our amazing minister preach in this gorgeous sanctuary or from the comfort of my own home. I want to eat meals together in Gore Hall and for all of us to get to know each other now that we're recombobulating. What a luxury to lounge and learn with my OWL class in the well-appointed and newly remodeled lounge in the Enrichment Center. Ah, it's good to be rich. And even so, we have everything we need. There are still some things we want. Like, I really want abundant childcare here on campus. When our kids are safe and engaged, parent power is unleashed. Parents in the choir? What? Yeah. And I want there to be sandwiches after the services, because lots of people need to eat lunch around 11:45, and this way, maybe folks won't need to scoot home right away. Babysitters and sandwiches. Watch out, y'all. This is what those who study the rich call lifestyle creep. So when I think about supporting the church in the coming year, I love the idea of enjoying everything we've been working so hard for. I want to enjoy being rich. I look forward to a restorative year. I look forward to our generosity taking care of one another and our campus. I love that we're together again, and I love being rich.
Well, all right, Julia. So this is the time that we set aside in our service for deep sharing of our hearts, for prayer and meditation. Know that if you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or helped with, or have a joy that you must share, please contribute to a collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during worship. You can email that to us at joysandconcerns@orlandouu.org, or on Sunday mornings, you can complete one of these cards outside, and the welcome team makes sure that we receive it. And of course, we also offer you to participate in our silent candle lighting ritual. We invite you to bring all your joys and all your sorrows here with you. Your whole self is welcome in this space we are creating together. We have some joys and concerns from the community to share with you. The flowers or the plant that you see back here honors Catherine Vaccaro's dear friend, Mary Storms, who weathered a decade as a loving caregiver and has now emerged on the other side, emerged whole on the other side. Kay, that is Kay Hooper, says that she is glad to be home after weeks of intensive rehab therapy for her broken hip and related surgery. Although she still has weeks of hard work ahead of her, Kay says there is no place like home. She also wants to thank everyone at One Youth for being such a caring community. We also heard from Dale Stakely, who, if you remember, moved to Sarasota to be near one of her daughters. So she's getting adjusted at her new home there and is part of an ambassador group that helps new people feel at home. Yes. This is from Bev. Craig is home and beginning the long healing process. Your messages, cards will cheer him on. Many thanks. And of course, Greg had knee surgery. From the RE committee, joy to the OWL youth who started class last night with great energy. Thanks to the parents for trusting us with your children, and thanks to teachers Michelle, Julia, and Mary for lighting the lamp of knowledge. So yes, OWL is back, baby. And for the larger community, let us send loving kindness to all those suffering in one way or another. And we are aware that there are wars, earthquakes, storms, and other conditions beyond their control. Let's send loving kindness their way. And we received a little reminder today that I felt fell into this larger category, a reminder that we refer to homeless persons as abandoned human. Homelessness is a true symptom of a failed social structure, not a failed government, not a failed party, not a failed state or city, complete social structural failure. So this was a reminder to us as we look at those who are failed by the systems. And for all the joys and all the sorrows that were held close to the heart, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send healing energy to each other here and to the rest, to those that we don't see in the far-reaching parts of the world. And if you would close your eyes if that feels right for you, or just gaze in front of you with a soft gaze and listen to the words of Reverend Teresa Soto. All that we are, together and individually, is part of the abundance of the universe. We are made of stars, we are made of earth. All that we have come from earth, from the labor of those in our communities, from the cities, farms, and oceans that enliven us, the world and those who live in it. We are surrounded by blessing, by grace, and by possibilities. We are reflected in every other human being. We respect and honor one another's differences. We celebrate our interbeing with abundance and the practice of generosity. May it be so. And may we value the relationship between our giving and the flourishing and sustaining of our community. And as you participate in our candle lighting ritual, if you are willing and able, we encourage you to focus your energy on the spirit of abundance. And if not that, please find some other way to use this time to reflect deeply. As you can see, I love that. So in other words, these are the facts. Our anticipated budget for the church year 2023-2024 includes the cost of healthcare premium, which have increased by 10%, an increase in maintenance costs of 24% for our campus. Program costs, which have been at a minimum the last few years, are expected to increase by 23%. Expanding our support for young families by providing childcare for additional 1U events so that they can participate more fully in our congregation. Bottom line, we need your help to make this, as Julia said, we are rich. So to live this full, rich life, we need your help to make this and more possible. So the ask this year is $470,000, which means we're asking you to increase your pledge by 10% or more to reach this goal.
I think over
First Unitarian Church of Orlando. We have so much to be thankful for and proud of. We are a community that celebrates diversity, promotes inclusivity, and fosters spiritual growth. I remember at this time last year, at the end of Time for All Ages, I had to scan really closely at the congregation to find one child, maybe. You know, I don't quite remember how it ended up, but at the most, there were 2 children here, and I counted today, and that's not including the youth, 14 children walked out today. So that is definitely, and that's who I could count. There might have been some outside and so on. And it is thrilling to have been able to hire Judith, this is the first time we've hired a full-time director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, director, I already said that. So this is an important milestone for our congregation as we continue to prioritize religious education and spiritual growth for children, youth, and adults. We are expanding our religious education program to better serve every age group along the lifespan. We believe this expansion will help us create a more inclusive and nurturing community where everyone can grow and thrive in their faith journey. So that robust religious enrichment program we dreamed of last year is well on its way of becoming a reality. And our Imagine worship experience has been emphasizing spiritual grounding, challenging us to responsibly engage in the search for truth and meaning, offering us new and diverse ways to connect with our faith and spirituality. Also offers opportunities to delve deeply into our beliefs, to reflect on our own lives, and to connect with others in a meaningful way. And engaging in that spiritual work will hopefully help us live our faith through social justice initiatives in education, promoting environmental and racial justice, reproductive and LGBTQ+ rights, and compassionate service to our community. And as we kick off our annual pledge drive, I just wanted to remind you of all the wonderful things happening here at our church, in our church community. Indeed, it is an exciting time at 1U. We certainly have more room to grow and more our plans for the years ahead. For example, you've heard this mentioned a couple of times, how we can better support our families with young children. You know, they're just coming out of from enduring the conditions imposed on us to live under the pandemic that we all went through, but the parents with young children had little ones with them 24/7. At some point during the day, before when we weren't living with COVID, the children had some place to go during the day and give the parents a break. The parents also went somewhere, but you can imagine little ones. I'm sure our parents loved their children, and I also understand how much of a heavy burden that must have been to bear, having the children there. All of their needs needed to be met by those parents. So as a congregation, I think we must find ways to facilitate attendance for those parents of young children so that they can have a break from the caregiving role that they play regularly. And we can do this by ensuring that we have top-notch child care that makes space for that. And looking outward, our work is not just about our own personal growth or what happens here in our congregation. Our faith calls us to live out our values in the world. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to promote justice, equity, and compassion in the world. Our social justice initiatives and education programs are focused on promoting environmental and racial justice, and providing this service in a compassionate way to the community. We are proud of the work we have done so far and how we partner with community organizations. And our Social Justice Council has done much to revamp and restructure itself to better position us to respond to our call. A call that demands that we are not content to just talk about change, but to actively seek to make the world a better place. And living in Florida, we continue to see on an almost daily basis the infringement on the rights of the marginalized. More recently, banning of books on queer and racial justice, restricting the teaching of Black history and other social issues that the state government feel should not be taught in classrooms, all these infringements. So this is one of the many reasons that it is important for Unitarian Universalism, for 1U, to not only exist, but to thrive. To, as our mission says, exemplify liberal religion in Central Florida with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. We can't be that beacon of light. We can't fight for social justice. We can't be that safe haven for those under attack and need a faith community like ours where they can be fully themselves and still be welcome and accepted. We can't be that place if we are not thriving. We are called to action, to be a light in the darkness, and to bring hope and love to those around us. And we can do that together through a shared commitment to justice and compassion. And as we participate in our pledge drive, I ask you to consider what our community means to you and what you hope to see in the future here in our church. We are a community that is built on the generosity of its members. And it is through your financial support that we can continue to live out our values and make a positive impact on the world. Your support is of such import that we ritualize it every year through a generosity campaign. So every year, you get to ritualistically recommit yourself to this community, to our faith tradition. And every year, through your financial support, you say yes to 1U. You say yes to Unitarian Universalism. Beloveds, I want you to know that we understand that not all gifts are treasures, right? We want you to know we understand and value and appreciate your time and talent. It is just that today, it is just that this month, we are focusing on the giving of your treasures. Your gift of treasures is also crucial to the life and ministries of this congregation. I quote Reverend Frederick from his sermon last year, and his caution bears repeating. The danger is that at this time of year, there is such an emphasis on money that those who struggle financially feel underappreciated or ashamed. So let us not lose sight during our annual fund drive that treasures are but one of the gifts that we share with one another and which are needed to support our community. We are a generous people. This generosity is revealed by the way we take care of one another. It shows its face through the open arms we extend to those beyond our doors who are not welcome in other churches because of their sexual orientation. To bring our principles to life, to teach them to our children, to live in this covenantal relationship with each other requires a tremendous generosity of spirit. We are a generous people, and at this time of year, we are asking all of you to demonstrate your generosity in a tangible, measurable way. Frederick continues, and I concur. I encourage you to hold yourself in the light of generosity and abundance rather than in the darkness of scarcity and stinginess. If you remember, last year, we discerned we needed a full-time DLRE, and it happened. That's you. You made that happen through your generosity. It is because of the sharing of your treasures that we hear the sweet laughter and chatter of children throughout our campus. Together, we can continue to create an exciting and vibrant community that embodies the principles of Unitarian Universalism. Thank you for all that you do, for your continued support of First Unitarian Church of Orlando. And so, beloveds, during this pledge drive, let us remember the exciting things happening at our church, and let us commit or recommit to supporting them in any way we can. Together, we can continue to inspire spiritual growth, expand religious enrichment, and promote justice and compassion in our community and beyond. Again, thank you for your generosity and support, and may we continue to grow in faith and in love together.
We want to keep the momentum going, and that's why we're turning to our members during this year's generosity campaign to ask for your financial pledge to ensure our beloved community continues to thrive. With your generosity, we'll continue to fulfill our mission and live out our faith values in Central Florida communities. So please, give as you are able. We would not be 1U without our members. You are truly the most exciting thing at 1U.
Remain seated, because we won't have the words up here for you, as we sing When Our Hearts is in a Holy Place. It's hymn number 1008 and the teal hymnal. Remain seated. Apparently, I misspoke. The words are up there for you. Please sing. May we remember that we are a generous people. May we reject the spirit of scarcity and embrace the spirit of abundance. And may we generously support this life-saving faith with our treasures, each according to their ability. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.